What are tarot decks or tarot decks and oracle cards? Have you ever wondered about these tools and why they get such a bad rap? Greetings, you are here with Tanisha Ali today, and we're talking about the tarot. The tarot and the oracle. These are two kinds of decks that people typically refer to as divination symbols or divination tools. Or ways to perceive into the inner realm of who we are and what we're connected to. I wanted to talk about these today because I feel like a lot of us don't really know a lot about them, and we have misunderstood them over time, and sometimes clarifying the mystery around something can allow you to appreciate it even more. Between the invisible and the visible realm of our experience, or the things that we see, the material world and the spiritual world, is a guiding force that most of us already accept. There's a guiding energy that is ever creative and moving us forward towards the journey of life, which is a magical and unique adventure for all of us. There are some very universal life experiences or archetypes that all of us will go through as life kind of ebbs and flows in and out of existence for us through this, life cycle that we're all a part of. And the purpose of life, or one of the purposes of life, is for us to navigate this amazing journey and to get a greater awareness of ourselves. And so there are a lot of things that we can use around us that allow us to tap into our inner guidance, the spiritual guidance that is ever so trying to reach us, divine guidance, whatever you want to call it, consciousness, the unified field. We are connected as energy to an even greater energetic force, which is defined in science now as the unified field, or the 0-point scalar field, the field of infinite possibility, the God field. And so as we go about life, increasing our levels of awareness, for those of us who are really in this journey trying to heal past traumas, trying to learn more about ourselves, trying to gather a greater level of awareness of how we are functioning in our lives, patterns, things of that nature. The tarot and the oracle both are excellent ways to do this. I am coming to know more about them over the years. I remember when I first ordered my first oracle deck, and I went out to my mailbox to get it. And believe this, I actually felt very like I was betraying something, or I was committing a crime when I actually ordered them. So I looked at them. Somehow they were calling out to me. I had never experienced anything like this before and was not even interested in them, I so thought, and didn't know what they were. So I felt guilty because they had this shroud of mystery over them. They have this shroud of sacrilegion over them. So I was like, oh my God, what is this? So I ordered them, and when they came, I literally remember when I went out to the mailbox to get them, I looked around like this, as if I was robbing a bank. And when I brought them into the house, I went into my room, I closed the door, and I was kind of like this. I was excited. I felt like a kid who had their hand in the cookie jar, right? I'm like, oh God, I'm doing something wrong. I'm committing a sin. No. I took them out and I just explored them, and they had these words on them like love, like isolation, like envy, like appreciation, gratitude. So I started reading about them, and I did a simple, what they call a spread, and it was really amazing. So I got to learn more and more and more about them. You can use tarot and oracle cards for so many different things. If you're on a spiritual journey, you can use them to tap more into your higher guidance. If you are trying to heal things in your life that are holding you back, patterns, whether it's in relationships, things like codependencies, if you want to be able to step above what you're experiencing in the world and look at some of the spiritual lessons that you are involved in that you may not actually be aware of, tarot's a great way to do that. If you're looking to increase your intuition and your connection with your first eye, I'm transitioning now to calling the third eye the first eye, because it's the spiritual eye. It's the sight, the inner sight that came before these physical eyes came and actually detracted us away from our first eye. So if you want to open that up, as people say, or you want to begin to delve into more of seeing the world through the eyes of your inner eye or your spiritual insight, it's great for that. Some people use it to get a fuller understanding of the different energies and experiences that they're having in their life and the divine lessons that they're learning. So people also will create a spread, a specific spread where each card represents a question that you may have, and you're able to look at in a very clear, objective way what's happening as it regards to the events of your life. For example, let's say this card here comes from a healing deck, and this card is called Selling Out. And if you're drawn to this card or you pull this card, it usually means that you're dealing with something in your life that has to do with you not honoring yourself. You're selling yourself out in some respect, even if it's in a relationship where you're accepting less than what you deserve. This card comes from another deck. This is a tarot card. Tarot cards are very structured in their makeup. They represent 78 cards total, and in each deck is a set of 22 cards that represent major spiritual lessons that people learn in life that cover the events of their lives. And this particular card, the Empress card, pulling this card, if you decided to wake up one day, and you can treat these tarot cards like a box of affirmations that you would pull. If you woke up one day and you pull this card, maybe this card is calling you to stand in your power. Maybe it's calling you to set boundaries, to make sure that you keep an eye on the things that you're trying to build in your life, and you don't allow anything in your life that might, say, sort of break down or seek to destroy your inner empire or your outer empire. They're very metaphorical in meaning, and they have a lot of symbols in the picture because the symbols speak to our subconscious, and they also consciously draw us to certain things. And the cards look different in all decks, and you'll find that this particular card in one deck may look one way and call you to certain traits and things within yourself, or it may look an entirely other way in another deck and inspire another interpretation. It's a very creative process. This card here is the Empress card. So this card represents a person who's very fertile in the sense of creativity in their life, bringing projects to fruition. This card would symbolize an energy, a feminine energy, whereby this person is, in terms of their fire and passion, in terms of what they're accomplishing in their career, in terms of where they are, in terms of their relationship dynamics, love, harmony, flow, those kinds of things, as well as them being able to utilize their creativity and logic. So this person is at the height of being able to harness the energies of all of those things to move forward a very creative agenda. It also can symbolize literally fertility, but you can look at some of the imagery in the card and you get an idea. You see the colors, you see the green, you see the blue, which each have their own interpretations. If you know anything about color therapy, you see the dove, you see the water. So it's really amazing. And this happens to be another deck called the Wisdom Keepers deck. Let's say, for example, you pull a card from this deck. This would let you know that perhaps whatever you're dealing with requires a greater degree of understanding and patience than maybe you are giving that situation. Perhaps you are in a space of intolerance right now, and in order to bring harmony and love back into the center of the focus of what's happening in your life, you need to step back, look at things differently, and try to exercise more compassion. So you can see how these cards can help you in a self-healing journey. They can help you in developing a greater level of awareness as to the aspects of yourself that require more attention. As a whole, the more that you use these cards, the better you become acquainted with the life cycles that we go through and where you may be in your particular life cycle and what specific things you need to be addressing. Oftentimes we don't see this. And so these cards help to really bring your awareness to certain things. And there's certain decks that you can actually focus on or purchase that focus on a particular thing. So this card here that I showed you is full of cards in a healing deck, and it's an oracle deck. And it just represents all different areas where we may be dealing with various issues in our life. For example, self-sabotage. And it calls your attention to the human drama, the human evolutionary cycle, the fact that nothing changes, that we're always in flux, that we're always moving up a path or we're coming down into a valley where we need to deal with more shadow energies or do more inner work to purge ourselves of those things that may be holding us down. So this video just wanted to give you an idea of why people use the tarot and oracle decks, and just to give you an idea of what some of the differences are. Again, a tarot deck is 78 cards. 22 of those cards represent major spiritual lessons that mankind, no matter where you are on this planet, is going to go through. The other 78 cards represent different areas of our lives where we have specific challenges and experiences. The area of thought and communication, another area of channeling our fire and passions in terms of the actions that we take, another area in building our lives, our careers, our home and family environments, another area where we are in our harmony, our love, our relationship with others. So it deals with the events of our lives, those other cards, those other 56 cards. And an oracle deck, on the other hand, deals with particular themes. For example, this oracle deck is about your inner guidance. This deck would deal with issues related to who you are as a woman and your divine feminine aspects. This deck is a relationship deck. So this deals with relationship issues and helps to bring your awareness of some of the things that are important with regard to the relationships that you find yourself in with the people that you love. So oracle decks usually are based on a particular theme. Sometimes they're multidisciplinary and they bring to bear a greater level of insight or a different subtle message or vantage point within an overarching theme of life that, say, the tarot might deal with. You use these very creatively. You can use all of these cards extremely creatively. The reason why you might choose a tarot deck is because there's 78 cards, 78 different messages dealing with what has typically already been established as human archetypal kinds of travel throughout life. The reason why you might use an oracle deck, let's say, for example, I'm dealing with some inner healing. I'm going through a transformation right now and I'm in need of insight as to how to heal and maybe where to go, what to do, things I need to entertain in order to love on myself. I might choose the healing deck. If I'm working on trying to bring to bear my greatest capacities as a human being and love and nurturing inner qualities that'll move me forward in my life and moving away from lower aspects of myself, maybe I would choose the Wisdom Keepers deck and I would work on that. Some simple ways that I encourage you to, if you're interested in, and I assume you're looking at this video, somehow you've been called to it, a very simple way is to purchase an oracle or a tarot deck. Go online, look for what it is you feel called to. Get that deck and each day pull a message from that deck or pull something for the week. Each of the decks will come with a little book that will allow you to read more about that particular card. And so read what that card says and look at how it may apply in your life at a particular time. That's one very rudimentary way that you can look at that card. And as you go about your day or about your week, or let's say you choose it for the month, look at how the theme of that card continues to resonate. I hope you enjoyed this video and learned something from it. There'll be multiple videos in this particular playlist related to the use of the tarot. So make sure you subscribe to the channel so that you don't miss any of the insight. This is Sneeja Ali again with Butterfly Transformations, moving you out of your cocoon and into your wings.